You know what, let's start again. I actually don't know. Tell me about myself, right. I am Muhammad Aizuddin, that's my full name, and people call me Mo. And I'm 32 years old now. I've been riding bike, take it seriously about 4 years now. I've always loved bike, and I was a kid, like my dad's ride bike. He's always been a Suzuki enthusiast. He owns, I think the first bike he owned was a Katana 750. And then that's when I started to like, well, I want a bike too. But my dad's always been strict, and then he never really showed love. Like, you know, like he said, if you want to ride bike, you have to earn it yourself. And then, but he did teach me how to ride bikes when I was about 10 years old, I think. We were in a village. I was born in Malaysia at the time. I wasn't in Australia yet, but he said to me, he goes, hey, do you want to come for an afternoon ride? I was like, what ride? Like just a normal motorbike ride? And then back then over there we had a, like, you know, the moped, the C70 moped. So he put me out the front. I was so little, he was at the back, and then he said, all right, start twisting the throttle, you know, you got to keep the balance. And before that I already knew how to ride a bicycle. So he wants me to jump a motorbike because I'm always around bikes at the time. I'm always keen to ride bike, but obviously my uncle, my dad were like you have to grow first to ride motorbike, you know. And since then, I was like, I always have the love for bikes. Obviously, I like big bike when I was there. At young age, obviously, I can't, and we come from like a sort of average family, and then can't really afford big bikes when I was back home. So I always pinch my uncle's bike, you know, when I had the chance, without him knowing, and you know. And then when I got back with his, you know, when I got back with his bike, and then get the slap of the wrist, and he was like, "Why did you take my bike?" I was like, "Oh, I just want to ride it," you know, all that stuff. Yeah. So that's me. I moved here when I was 18. Moved with my uncle when I was 18. I worked with him for a little bit, and then moved down to Melbourne, do my trades and everything, and then make my own money, and then started to fall in love with bike riding on the road. So I start bike riding on the road. My first bike was GSXR 600, and I ride that for 6 months, I think, and then I had a crash. It was the middle of winter. It was, I think, about 4 o'clock in the afternoons. I think it was 11 degrees or 9 degrees at the time. I was hooning around, I'll say hooning, you know, at Yarra Boulevard, and then at the time I thought I was, you know, fast, you know, I know how to ride, and then I crashed and I slid under a parked car. And then I had a very bad concussion. I think I've also fractured my right collarbone as well. Pretty bad one. And then, because the scary thing about those crash is I woke up at a hospital, and then I didn't remember a thing. And then I was like, fuck, this is super scary. And I got done after that because obviously the cop was there, and then I can't remember a thing, and they said I was hooning, excessive riding, and I lost my license for about 6 months or so, and then recovered. And then I thought, I really want to be good at this, like, you know, I really want to, I know how to go fast and sort of know how to go fast and safer. Then I'll get into doing track days and that. And then at the time I bought another bike, which is a GSXR 1000. Well, silly me, you know, jump straight to the big bike. Do a couple of track days, and then I've always, like, I like to socialize with people, always talk to people. And then got super close with Mark Wilson, which is the organizer of the track days. And it becomes a mate till now, becomes a good mate. And then I've always worked with the ride days after that, and then I've always attend the track days and do a bit of volunteer work with Mark. Mark Wilson also, I think, one of the head coach for, not head coach, a coach for California Superbike school. And I've always seen this school, right? People always want to get better, and they go to the school, and then they'll be able to understand how to ride the bikes a little bit better. I know the schools also goes to the circuit, the school always have an event at the circuit. and then they always do an event at the circuit. But people who goes to the school, not just the people that ride circuit, they also ride on the road. But every single person that goes to that school, they always give a positive feedback, like, oh, you really have to do it, it's really good, it helps you understand the fundamental of how to ride big bikes or bikes properly. So from there, Mark, I think he suggests me to go to the school and do level 1, level 2, which is level 1 I think is about throttle control, level 2 is about vision. I really liked it. And I thought, wow. And then at the time I was riding a Phillip Island circuit a lot, and then I don't really know what sort of time I was clocking. I was doing 156, 155 or something. And then I did the school, level 1, level 2. So 1 throttle control, level 2 vision, and then I went back to the track, Phillip Island track. And then I ride after the school, and then my time, like from what I'd taken from the school, and then my time was down to 148, 147. And from there, I was like, this is great, like this is what I wanted. Like I always have a goal to get a little bit faster when I go to the circuit. Like, how do I get fast? I'm the type of rider who never really, like, I'm just gonna do it and see what's gonna happen, and then that's how I get faster, right? If I do this, what's gonna happen? If I do that, what's gonna happen? I'm that type of rider, because I can't afford to crash and hurt myself. Like, I don't mind if we crash is part of the game, but I'm trying to minimize that as much as possible. I did 3 and 4, then I go back to track and then ride, obviously time as well. You spend a little bit of time on the circuit, and then I got down to, from 47, 48, I got down to 44, 144, 143. And then at the time I was in the school, and then I got recognized by the school as a part of like sort of development with I think that one of their partnership of the school, and they wanted to create a team to race in Australian Superbike. And I was sort of having, like they come to me, hey, like I thought it was a joke, like, hey, like, do you want to race SBK, on what, 300s? I'm down. I was like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And then later that I know, obviously with the time I was improving with my riding. I think here's the thing, like when I'm on the track, I never really have the lap timer. I've always focused on the thing that I need to do on the circuit, and then I wanted to do it right to make it, this is right, feels better. I don't really look at the lap time. And then I think at the time, it's about, I was doing 141, 140 maybe. So the partner of California Superbike, they took me to Sydney to do St. George. It's like a club race, or it's a state level for New South Wales. And then, so there was this series called Night Series. So there was 2 levels. It's actually 3, I think. At the time, it's F1 and F2. So F1 is like proper SBK riders, and then F2 is like, no, I take that back. It's like, so F1, I think, yeah, SBK riders. And then F2 is people who are doing sub 37 or 137 at Eastern Creek at the time. So they're separated with the 2 class. And there's also F3. So the California Superbike partner wants to put me on F2 just to have a go at state racing, right? Just to see how I go. And then straight away they put me on an R1. 2015 R1, the bike, I don't even know what's done to the bike. And then I look at the bike, and it's great bike, you got it's got, I think, the Starlane dash and everything, whatnot. I'm still learning about the bike at the time, and it's good suspension. It's got Aizuddin suspension, FKR front fork, TTX rear, and then we run Bridgestone for the tire. It's a good package of the bike. And then I ride. First race of the night, I think, which is F1 and F2, they race together. I qualified, I was slow. I did 137s at Eastern Creek on the R1, and that put me on the grid of, I think, P8 for the start, out of, I think at the time was 17 or 18 riders within the F1 class, which is SBK riders. So I raced, and then I finished. My best was 5th, I think. And then I did 1:34 at the end of the race with the R1. And then from there, they were like, "Oh wow, okay, that's not bad, you know. Like it's not too slow. It's not fast either, but we can improve, you know." And then they were like, "Okay, we'll go for more racing." And then I did round 2. It was raining, and then my best at St. George was P4 in the rain. At the time, yeah, it was P4. It was in the rain. I had Bridgestone rain tyres. That was my first time riding wets. I love it. Oh, high sides. I've always wanted a suit because obviously when you go to the circuit and then you need suits and that. It was on Facebook Market, so I bought a suit, right? And this person happened to be Phil's brother. Funny. Anyways, I didn't know Phil at the time, and then the first time I met Phil at High Site, it was at bike night, and then I saw him with the pop-up store with the suits around. You know, I was like, "Oh, that's a nice suit. It's a custom suit. I've never really seen this brand before, but it was a really nice design." And that's how I introduced myself to the owner, which is Phil. And then later on, I think Phil opened a shop, and then had a good chat with Phil. And you know, I bought a suit not long ago, I think in Doncaster or something, and then he's go, "Oh, what suit did you buy?" And then I go, "Alpine Star suit." It was second hand. And then I can't remember what was the question he asked me. I think it's like, "Where did I pick up the suit?" I think it was, "Oh, it's from Facebook Market." And then I show him on my phone. He's like, "Oh, that's my brother." and that's when it all started. And then it clicked up. I'm a mate with Phil. And then when Phil knew I was gonna race ASBK, and then he was like, "Hey, is there anything I can do for you? Like, you know, help you with suit or something, and then you just tell me what you want on the suit." And since then, I think I've always been with a high side racing suit, and yeah, I've test crashed it, so I know. I've had a gnarly ones over, I think, about a year ago or something, and I was racing the Ovale, and then I had a brake failure, and then I had a big crash, fractured my finger, broken ribs, broken collarbones, and probably done my ankle as well at the time. But the suit sort of protect me in a way where I didn't have any scratches or anything. But because the way I crash is, you know, maybe I should have an airbag, you know, when I race. Now I wear an airbag. But when I crash, probably a good speed, and I hit the fence and then flew over like probably 3 meters in the air or something, and then I passed this. There's trees there. I think yeah, it was a big one, and then people thought I was gone, but I survived. But just with a little bit of injuries, and the worst one is just the collarbone. For me, right road, you know, if I look back, and for the things that I do now on the track, if I take it to the road, like if I want to do the same thing I do on the track to road, I think I'll hurt myself badly. So I'll say, you know, when you ride bike, obviously, like, I like meeting people, and then bike community is such a good community, I think, to meet people. And you know, also, like, if you want to ride and enjoy, socialize, and do the thing you love, you know, you should do it for sure. But if you think that you need to go fast, or you like the challenge of riding bikes, I think take it to the track, take it to the right place. And then this is me. I think it's the same journey as what I had when I first crashed at Yarra Boulevard, and then I wanted to go fast. It's always been me. I wanted to, you know, go crazy. I want to do this, do that. But obviously, and then I had a big crash, and then I was like, oh shoot, if I do it on the track, I still crash, but it's in controlled environment at least, and then you do it at the right place, you know. And I think just give yourself some time, I suppose. Like, you just got to trust the process and give yourself some time to get better at riding. Not just like, I want to do this. And you can as well, but it's going to take a toll on your body for sure. Follow me on social media also, because I'm sponsored by Highside, right? You can also contact Highside, for example, especially for the October that we're going to do probably the last MotoGP at the island, and we'll be in the Australian Superbike class for a support class for the GP race. Yeah, and you know, as it is, as racing is not cheap, and it's always you know, a man and a machine sports, and machines, you know, cost to get it, to, you know, to improve the bike, to get a little bit better. And as for myself, like, you know, I need a little bit of support, and I can show them, I can, you know, I can come up with a good result. I can show my talent or my hard work that I've been doing for the last few years to get better every time I'm at track. Yeah. Yeah. Well done. Shit. Perfect. That was cool, man.